Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. For those of you just dropping in, my name is Ethan, but I sometimes go by Okrents when I'm releasing music online. This is the second installment of Plan B, a weekly-ish video series where I take you through what's happening in my life in a year where I've stepped back from my big tech job to focus on creative pursuits. So yeah, week 2. How's it going for me? Surely after all this time planning things out, I wasted no time building up all of those daily practice and exercise habits I'd been dreaming of. Stopped eating terribly, fixed my dysfunctional sleep schedule, planned out a bunch of trips around the world? Well, no, not exactly, and not just because I'm still waiting on the US Department of State's sluggish passport renewal process. After so long spent living entirely at the mercy of external demands, it's been hard for me to adjust to living and working for myself. Nobody but me is losing any sleep over my not putting out enough music. Many of us are so used to disappointing ourselves that it's just not a good enough motivator for most. That's one big reason why I'm doing this series. All I can do is keep trying here, and I do think that with enough time and decompression, I'll probably figure something out. There are some things to talk about, though. As you might have guessed from the footage, that silly little theme tune you heard at the top of the video was thrown together in about 45 minutes this past Tuesday. It popped into my head exactly as you heard it while I was running errands that morning. I wanted to record it as quickly as I could, and for the first time, film myself throughout that process. And so that's exactly what I did after I got back to the house, and it went quicker than expected. This is a big win in my book for several reasons. To begin with, this is the first original music I've been comfortable publicly sharing in full online since my song Faces came out in 2020. And you know what? It's not good music, and I'm okay with that. For many years, I wanted every new song I released to be better than the last. But this goal-oriented mentality is awful for artistic development. Go and ask any creative professional if you don't believe me. Quantity is much more important than quality when you're first trying to hone your craft. And now I have a theme song for the show, which is great. The other big reason I'm really happy about this creative exercise, though, is that I was able to push through the discomfort of filming myself recording the tracks, despite my rusty fingers on synth action keyboards and beat pads. The same perfectionism that has prevented me from putting any new music out over the past few years has also made me a very inconsistent live performer. For quite a while, if I've had reason to expect that something won't be a perfect performance, I haven't wanted to try it at all. Yet again, this is totally the wrong impulse. You want to be a good live artist? Screw up. Screw up gloriously and screw up repeatedly in front of as big of an audience as you can muster. Eventually, it becomes clear to you that despite the discomfort, you have survived every single one of your mistakes. Only then does the shame of failure lose its power over you. A friend of mine from my days in college, who is now the organist for the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., once told me that he got over his stage fright by making every possible mistake he could at some point over the course of all of his performances. I think he's got a point. Now look, I'm no organist, I'm frankly not all that good, but my mission for myself Tuesday was to be okay with putting out a video including my fingers slightly slipping on the keyboard. And by that admittedly very limited metric, I think I've succeeded. I'm looking forward to screwing up a lot more in front of all of you going forward and hopefully making something interesting out of all of it. The rest of my week was quite a bit busier than expected. I actually saw Death Cab for Cutie in the Postal Service when they came to Boston on Wednesday of this week, and it was awesome. And since I'm still local, I actually helped my old a cappella group from college, the Harvard Dinatonics, audition new members for the coming year. It's been a little bit tiring, but a lot of fun seeing what the current group is up to, and it's heartening to see them having passed through the dark days of the recent pandemic still in very capable hands. My time with the Dins this week has made me reflect on how large the group's positive influence has been on my life, beyond the surface level fun of just being in a singing group. There's a real case to be made that I wouldn't be sitting in front of this camera recording this right now without them. But I am running out of time on this video, so I'll save my remarks and some fun little anecdotes for next week. I guess you can tune in then if you want to know which Canadian Prime Minister I had a very awkward run-in with in 2016. If you want to see more from me or hear my music, serious and unserious alike, please consider subscribing and following this channel depending on where you're watching this, and check out the video description for social media links. Thank you for watching, keep your eyes peeled for more, and stay safe out there.